What's up guys, Epic Tetsu here, and in Tower of God New World, I thought we would just kind of cover like some team comps and like equipment enhancement, or at least to what I think about it. So when you go into your teammates, if you're on list, then you can click on whichever teammate you want to, and you can equip or auto-equip. And if you're using green equipment just to save resources, go ahead and just equip the green equipment, but don't level it up. The blue equipment, I've just enhanced it to +1, and that's going to get your characters, decently good to where you can form a team comp and start taking down, some of the towers. If you look at the limit break, and we actually have enough here to limit break, when you limit break a character, you're going to, which requires a dupe, and then you get, these stones here, these break stones. So you'll be able to actually select the skill that you would like to limit break. So what you want to do is, before you limit break, is look at the skills and see what they're going to do for you and for your team overall. Now let's look at team comps. So in order to do an actual team comp, you can't really set one up beforehand, which kind of sucks. Excuse me. So we'll go into adventure, and we have this floor right here. So the first thing about your team comps is you'll notice when you're fighting the enemy, there's these little orbs over here, and you have orbs to your left. So if you look over here, they're using a mono team, the enemy is. And so when they have 5 of the same element, then all teammates are going to receive plus 15% HP and attack plus 15%. Now early on, for creating your teams, you don't really need to try to make a mono element team and combat them. You can just pretty much use whatever you've got, and you'll do pretty well. Like if I use 3 of these ice characters, I'm going to get a small little buff. Okay? But then we also see my combat power, and you need to know how your teammates work together. So let's just say, for the sake of it, I think I already have a team saved. We're just going to go ahead and use this team. So you'll see I have 43,965 combat power. So by having combat power over what the enemy has, you're just going to wipe them out anyway. So the reason to build a mono team would be for harder floors or content, and that if your combat power is just kind of like close, you might be able to actually achieve the victory by setting up a mono element team, or at least having 3 or more of those. Alright, let's go ahead and take a look at our growth. So your Shinsu links, you're going to see that, you can use whatever character you want to use in these slots, which is cool. So instead of leveling up the actual character, we're just leveling up the cores, basically. So in your level ups, it starts to get pretty expensive as you go on. And when you go to limit break, it'll use 110 of your soul crystals. And, keep an eye on how much gold and everything else, because you can run out of material resources really quickly. So when you go to limit break, you'll see this here, and then it'll take you up to the next slot. So starting out, I recommend working your way to getting all these into D, but take your tank slot and go ahead and make it into D1 as soon as you can. That way you can work on creating, a stronger tanking unit. Alright, so last but not least, back to the team comp thing. So just to start, because we're going to just touch on it, and we'll maybe do another video later when I learn more about the units that I have. So, like in Dorsey, if you look at her skills, you'll see that she jumps toward the enemy with Bong Bong, dealing 200% of her attack as damage. So she can jump like into the fray of the enemies, but she'll take a lot of damage. So an interesting team comp for her is actually using this tank, Hor Yang Kang, the Wings of Destruction. Because if you look at his skill, his special move, I should say, he dashes to the ally with the lowest HP, knocking back all enemies he collides with. When he arrives near the ally, he creates a barrier for the ally and himself equal to 800% of his attack, and then also provokes them. So that can help the lowest HP ally, depending on what units you have, and you've noticed that take a lot of damage, and that can really help them survive. So that can be useful in arena, and it can be useful in the tower. Anyways, that's kind of all the tips I've got for now. I hope this information helped you out. And let me know in the comments below if you're playing the game and if you like it. Guys, remember to be well, be epic, and take care.
Being the best or the strongest, I don't care about any of that.